Yeah.
Do you want to start?
All right. Well, I'm not sure who's all in the room since I had technical difficulties getting in. So maybe could you just
Sure.
start it off with
it's
who's
myself,
all on?
Shawn Lewis, City Manager, Allison McKinney-Brown, City Attorney, Krista Gravy, Executive Assistant to Council and City Manager, Dorothy Hargrove, Deputy City Manager, Jade Truscott-Reed, Deputy City Clerk, Nathaniel Sierra, Mayor Pro Tem, Linda Olson, Mayor. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I think if it hasn't already gone out, I'm just looking. Yeah, it looks like last night Jeremy sent, did he send an invitation to the emergency meeting that we scheduled for Wednesday? But we'd like to have, that's the second reading for the ordinance on the rental assistance program. And so if that's not already done, we'll get that out today. Stephanie, do you know if that agenda has been posted yet? Oh, sorry, Jade.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me double check it. I don't believe so, but I will have it posted momentarily unless Stephanie posted it.
Okay.
So I'm just checking it right now.
Great, thank you. I thought I heard Stephanie on the call, but I see she's not.
She might. I think she was on earlier with Jeremy. But yep.
All right, then.
It's not posted.
I don't see.
But it will be
I don't
posted
see
today.
a request yet.
Okay, it just has to be 24 hours, or well, should be 24 hours. So we're going to get it out this morning.
Yep.
Okay, but there isn't a calendar request yet in my box anyway.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Do we need to? I am so sorry that I did not circle back to that last night. Do we need to alert all of council today of that again? I think it was very brief that you mentioned it.
Yes, I'll send out an email as well.
And you wanting it at 6 on Wednesday, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so moving on to April 13th, we have a couple of items on this. This is one of the meetings that we're treating like a study session, but it will be a special meeting. We have the sanitary, water and sanitary sewer master plan results. And so that's going to be a pretty lengthy presentation, quite a few slides to go over. And Peter is going to really outline the highlights of what the master plan has found in terms of our infrastructure needs on water and wastewater. And then we also have a.
And then is he presenting that on the next night to Littleton then?
No, this is only Inglewood.
Okay.
So this is just, this does not include the plant. It only includes Inglewood's water and wastewater system. You may remember that he actually loaned him to us for this purpose.
Yep, sorry.
And then we also have the pavement management program, and Maria DeAndrea is going to kind of go over what our process is with maintaining our roadways, crack sealing, overlays, street rehab, etc. And then Madeline Hinkfuss will close us off, unless you guys want to change the order. She's going to be pretty brief, 4 slides, talking about a new grant program that she wants to do with the budgeted funds that you guys gave her, just like in $300 to $500 increments to, when we get back to normal, have, fund neighborhood kind of block parties, not just for National Night Out, but throughout the year, particularly if you are an organized neighborhood. So, and then she also has an idea about kind of a kit of parts that you can take out for those type of things. So it'd be kind of a tent, I believe, some games and things that you could kind of come and that would be a place where you could serve drinks out of and that sort of thing. So she's got 2 kind of requests that don't actually require council approval, but we want to get for sure on the grant program, kind of the council's blessing on that. All right.
Good.
Moving on to.
We need to, excuse me, add a COVID section to that meeting and all others for updates.
Yeah, I think the mayor asked all agendas. Good.
I do have that automatically populating onto every agenda, and it'll be like the agenda from last night where we had that COVID section. I'm more than happy to place it onto the agenda on here as well if you would like.
Makes sense.
Yes,
Thank
if you would just, so, yeah, that's great. Thank you for remembering that. Yes, if you would, Jade, that'd be helpful because then we remember that there's an extra time piece.
Great. All right. If there are no other questions on April 13th, on April 20th, well, based on the conversation last night, didn't we postpone Citizen the Year? We're pushing that out.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We had a July 1 penciled in deadline for any more nominations, and then
Christmas-
deciding
No.
at that
Christmas-
point whether we would have it still that year. I don't care what the date is. I just know that it needs to be out. I would like to see us still try and do one unless we just don't have anybody that we feel good about. But I think we should try and keep going with this in some way to celebrate. But I don't care on what the date is of what we set. So I just threw out July 1st last night because I thought, okay, well, let's just be reasonable. I think that might be reasonable. And if we're back to somewhat normal by September, October, we could possibly have it in that time frame.
Great. So we have now at the top of the list, the lodger sales tax increase. And so this is the hotel occupancy tax that you guys talked about at a previous study session. So we're treating this meeting more like a regular session. We also have a purchase order for approval of annual roadway materials, contract approval for water treatment plant risk and resiliency study, approval of subgrantee agreement with Arapahoe County for CDBG, tax for online sales for third-party vendors. So that's going to be second reading, and that was unanimous, so we can put that on consent, I believe. And then the COVID-19 update, award of contract to Sabels Civil and Landscape LLC for construction of the Romans Park retaining wall, award of contract to Dream Builders Inc. for construction of the Inglewood Rec Center, and water main, fire hydrant assembly, and ADA ramp installation. Any questions about those?
No?
I may have a question. I may ask it during the council meeting. So yeah, it has nothing to pertain with regarding mayor manager's meeting though.
Okay. Moving on to April 27th, we have, this is again treated more like a study session. We'll have the March 2020 financial review, and by then we will have those March financials, obviously, and we'll have a better idea of kind of our financial impact on that. Although I'm actually thinking that really March is going to be less of a hit than April, just because there was so much buying going on in March when things started to shut down. I actually think I don't think it's going to be an increase, but I'm hoping it's a little more flat, and I think April will be down, just to guess. We have the Downtown Matters DDA update, then, and preliminary review of the 2021-2025 CIP. And so that will have by then already gone to our two boards and commissions that look at that, and then the COVID-19 update. Questions? Comments?
None
No.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
On May 4th, we have if we broke this down kind of like the old days with the study session item at first, we have the pre-development agreement with SKB, and they're our developer for the city center. And then we right now just have the Excel Energy easement for biogas project is the only thing on the regular agenda for that meeting. Moving on to May 11th, we have a city council budget workshop, which is about 3 hours is what we're estimating for that. And then a joint session with Planning and Zoning Commission if we're back open for business. On May 18th, we have a motion for pre-development. Did I just do that? Yes, sorry. May 26th, the April financial review, and then another budget workshop. Am I repeating myself? Or
No, you skipped the 18th, and then the following 26th is very similar.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then
There isn't-
June,
yeah.
June 1st, we have the 100th birthday of the Inglewood Library at the beginning of that meeting, and policy on emergency aid to other agencies. Anything else on the agenda you guys want to look at?
It just looks like, I mean, it looks pretty normal. There's the 18th, we don't have any study sessions yet, kind of study issues, but that's fine. We're far out yet.
Yeah, Dorothy or Allison, can you think of anything? We'll have directors meeting tomorrow and can double check this.
Yeah, there may be a couple of things that we finally get ready to bring to council, but I won't know before the end of this week. So it's stuff we can bring up next week.
Right. I haven't been notified of anything, so.
Very good. All right, well, I think that's all we've got. And then from last night, I actually was going to turn Cheryl's, she had a question about process for putting things on the agenda in the legislative process. She didn't say that as a council request, but I thought it might actually be a good exercise just for between my office and Allison's office to put together a little primer on that for how things go on the agenda, how you guys can do that, and as well as kind of she was asking broadly about the legislative process. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what she was asking for. She's been on for 2.5 years, so she couldn't be I mean, I don't know what she's asking for, and I want to help her out. So it might be helpful to give her a phone call and say, what exactly were you getting at?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I thought I would do the same thing with Councilmember Russell and just ask her if that really for the council request, staff can't respond for council and how you guys want to notify each other. But I will be sharing kind of our new SOP that we've put into place for when someone is exposed to COVID, kind of the precautionary measures that we take in our buildings. So.
Well, I would think that we would follow the same as the city. If we have a family member or someone we've been around quite, I mean, isn't that how it works for the city? We're all employees, so.
Well, you're not employees. You're elected official. There's a difference.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
But this morning, HR will be sending out the requirements for employees. And these are what we're getting this stuff down through Employers Mutual and other organizations. So when they send this out to the employees, we'll make sure a copy goes out to the city council as well, so that you will know what the standards are for reporting any kind of illness.
Yeah, I think what Member Russell was getting at last night was the email that one person has sent. And gosh, the only questions I've had from people is calling me and asking me just how I'm doing, and everyone else, how's Mayor Pro Tem doing, and how's Member Wink and others doing. And so I think last night probably helped to some extent, but if we need to, I think it's clear if we have a process for the city, let's offer it to council to say, let's all follow the same thing. If any of us have family members, I mean, at this point, we shouldn't be out and about anyway, but I think that one's a really easy one.
Yeah, sounds good.
There's a lot of irrationality with this stuff, It's like we've all been exposed probably, whether we got it or not, whether a member has it. We don't even know. People are asymptomatic. Oh, well.
I had a question about Councilmember Wink's request for what I understood to be new commissions or committees. Right. One on sustainability, affordable housing, and her issue or suggestion with solar. Are those study session requests for council consideration? How do we capture that request?
I don't know what she was getting. I know when she went to NLC, she got some really great ideas and heard other councils talking about things, and it may have come from that. We haven't seen a report yet from her from NLC. I'll remind her of that. I was going to talk to her today anyway, because I had suggested to her that the environmental thing could be an expansion of Cape Englewood Beautiful, because she did call me from NLC, I think, or we talked about it, something from NLC. and she has some great ideas. I think we just need to tease them out. I don't know, maybe we give her a chance to have an NLC report verbally. We've done that in the past, and she can give some ideas. I don't know if we want to spend time doing that or not. But she also had a third one on ethics, and so I had a little note here to ask Allison where we were with our ethics policy. I know it's probably not on the top burner right now.
Well, when I mentioned earlier, we might have a couple of things that we can bring back to Mayor Manager by next week. That's one of the things. It has fallen down the list quite a bit, but the fact is it's still a priority of the council members. So we'll do our best to get something back and ready to go to you guys by next week. Not for a regular agenda, but to at least discuss it, Mayor Manager.
You mean study session or manager?
Mayor Manager.
Oh, okay, great. And then
where to put it on the schedule.
And then I had on my notes that that Cheryl was going to touch base with me on the solar thing, and I actually have my bi-monthly with her today at 11. So I'll get.
We'll just ask her all the questions then.
Yeah. I think that's all I have, Mayor.
All good. Yeah, those were the main things from last night too. The protocols for telling people if you've been exposed, and then Mayor Pro Tem, did you have anything?
No, that's everything that I had. So we're going to table these items that Member Wink brought up until after your discussion with her, Shawn? Because I did see that when they came up, I saw them as future study session topics. So I guess we'll just circle back around after your discussion, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they go on the study session topics like anybody else's, and we ask people to look at them, and maybe we take time at the next meeting again to look over them. Which ones would they like to move to the top? We do have some meetings coming up that don't necessarily have pressing study session issues, but I'm fine with whatever council wants to put on the study sessions. That's what we're here for.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Good. All right. I think that's it then, right?
I think so.
Have anything? It's 9:03, and the Mayor Manager meeting is adjourned. Thanks for all your help, everybody.
Yeah.
Guys.
Thank you. Hey, Allison, do you have a second?